Hello, this is Firefly4F4, and this is a quick response to Michael J. Crawford, aka Rational Roundtable, and particularly his video RR E140, Abusive Epidemic Moral Conundrum. Summarizing the video, Michael, you discuss how you come to the conclusion that morality is indeed subjective. But you then proceed to make the argument that instead of asking about objective or subjective morality, the question should instead be if there is indeed an objective good or evil. During this, you mention the words right and wrong when referring to morality, and then define good and evil with reference to closeness to God. Michael, I have to say, I think you're arguing yourself into a bit of a circle here. Per the Oxford Online Dictionary, the definition of moral in this case is number 2, morals, standards or behavior, principles of right and wrong. Similarly, morality is defined as principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. The definition of right that applies in this situation is adjective number 1, morally good, justified, or acceptable. Likewise, the definition of good is adjective number 3, possessing or displaying moral virtue. So my take on this is, even if you are correct in asking about if there is an objective good, you are still making the case for an objective morality. Morality refers to being right and wrong, right refers to being morally good, and good refers back to being moral. So in my view, whether or not you're arguing for objective morality or objective good, you are still arguing for the same concept. That being said, I'm going to offer a couple of additional thoughts on this. The first being the claim by Sam Harris that science will indeed be able to provide a basis for objective morality. I'm sure you're aware of this claim. Personally, I'm skeptical about it, but I have not looked into his or others' research on the matter, so I will reserve judgment. However, I would be interested in your opinion. Secondly, and I'm going to go off script here, so this might be a little bit rambly. You mentioned in your video about how no one considers abusing children for pleasure to be morally correct. I've got a bit of an issue with there, and I think it's a bit of an appeal to authority, but I'm going, not appeal to authority, appeal to emotion. However, I'm going to take it at face value. If you look at for instance, the Aztecs in the past, they used to use child sacrifice to appeal to their rain god. By reading this from Wikipedia, the Aztecs believed that if sacrifices weren't supplied, rain would come and their crops wouldn't flourish. Taluk required the tears of the young as part of the sacrifice. The priests made the children cry during their way to immolation. So, it would appear that, well, this isn't quite torturing children for pleasure. It was quite acceptable in their culture to torture children to appease what they considered their god. Let's just assume that your definition of good applies. In other words, we are good the closer we get to God. So, if we look back and we consider things like child sacrifice, racism, slavery, or all these things, previously these were considered morally correct. We could do them. Now we look back at them and say, no, this is wrong, this is evil, this is not good. So, with your definition of good in mind, generalizing, there are going to be people who object to this. One theist argument I hear is that people are moving away from God. However, if we look at these things and we consider that they are good, doesn't that mean we're actually moving closer to God? Regardless of whether we're theist or atheist or not, we now consider these things to be bad things, not good. We don't do them anymore. Are we not moving closer to God that way? Just a thought I had. I know that's open for debate, but still, interested in your thoughts. Thank you very much.